Okay, so I have one of my lining panels and that's been interfaced, and I have my two card slots. Now I've already done my top stitching along the top of my card slots. I tend to do them all together when I do the card slots and the exterior pocket. So the exterior pocket I've top stitched all along that top edge, and the card slots exactly the same. So I'm now just going to do a little bit of folding and marking. So I'm going to fold my lining panel in half with the two shorter edges together, so that the line shows the centre from top to bottom. Then I'm going to get my chalk marker and I'm going to mark a line that is 1 1/4 inches from the top edge. Now the top edge will be, it depends if you're using plain fabric like I am. If you're using plain fabric like I am, it makes no difference which long side you do it from. If you're using a patterned fabric that has a directional print, then you need the print to be, the direction of the design on the print to be going from the bottom to the top. So you'll know which is the top based on the design on the fabric. So I'm just going to do that line that intersects the fold that I've made at 1 1/4 inches from the top edge. Then I'm going to take my card slot and I'm going to place it so that the top corners of that sort of triangle piece sit on that line, and the center where the apex is of those two lines sits on the fold. And I'm just going to stitch across the bottom to secure that in place. Now I'm not stitching the top or the sides, just across the bottom, and I'm going to do one back stitch at the beginning and the end, and I'm stitching at 1/8 of an inch seam allowance just to secure that card slot in place. Trim off any threads. And you're going to pop your second card slot 1/2 inch below. Now if you're worried about how you're going to actually do that, you can't measure it properly, the easiest way, is to use your ruler. She says with great confidence, got the ruler around the wrong way, to just mark a line 1/2 inch below the bottom of the first card slot, and use that to put your second card slot on. Now what you need to make sure is that the sides match up. So you've got one card slot and then the second one, and you match the sides exactly so that they are perfectly together. And then you're going to stitch all the way around from the top of the first card slot. So from the top of the first card slot all the way down, across and up again. I'm just gonna get my card slot, my cards in order, as they say. I'm stitching around the outside of these card slots, again using them on an 1/8 of an inch seam allowance, which isn't a lot, but you don't want to make your card slots too narrow, because otherwise your cards will be too tight in them. I'm a great one for stuffing 2 cards in each slot, and if you do these at 1/8 of an inch, then there is actually room for 2 cards in each slot. Your machine should cope quite easily with this, because at the maximum point is you're going over 2 layers of faux leather and 1 of cotton, so you know it's not, I'm not quite sure what's gone on there. Okay, there we go. So that's my card slots in situ, and you can see 1, 2. So I'll come back to you shortly very shortly to show you how we put all this together.